Hey guys, what's up? It's Iflin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Frost in Warframe in 2019. Now, in my opinion, Frost is the best defensive frame in the game. I know that there is a lot of people who love Limbo out there, but I feel like in an endurance run, you literally can't beat a good Frost because a Frost bubble is just the perfect size. It doesn't shrink. It can still get affected by, the whole, if you pick up 10 void traces or whatever, and then you get that range and power strength buff, then nullifiers can definitely screw you over. That's a thing. It's a little bit less so with Frost. With Limbo, it is more or less uncontrollable because your bubble is so huge at that point. And, Limbo's casting time is so much longer than Frost. It's a little bit harder to come back from that. But with Frost, you are area lockdown. You do not want the enemies to come in to your safe space. You rage and you cry. And by rage and cry, I mean you use all of your abilities. Your 2, your 3, your 4, and then you'll use your 1 if somebody gets too close, just to prevent the enemies from getting near your defense objective. You want to spam your free as much as you can to stack as much health as possible. So you can cast your free as much as you want, okay? Whenever your free takes damage, the enemies start to shoot at it. What you do is you just go ahead and you cast it again, and then what's going to happen is the health of your free just gonna come back, and for some reason I couldn't get in that pillar, so you just keep on casting this over and over and over again. The casting animation is so short. Don't put natural tan on this like I've seen some people run on Frost, because if you're playing Frost properly and you're keeping your bubbles health replenished and up there, then casting Avalanche, you should have enough time to do that, and you should be in a position to cast Avalanche when needed, because Avalanche, in my opinion, is a very, 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 very good oh shit ability. Probably one of the best in the game. It reduces enemy armor, holds them in place based on the amount of duration that you have on your Frost. As you can see, the bad guys are currently frozen in a cool proc, right? So they're going to be there for a while because I have a decent amount of duration on this build, and they're back now. So they just had a little minor case of brain freeze there. So, on top of that, you've also got the Chilling Globe Augment, which has a 50% chance to freeze enemies that walk into your snow globe, or like I said, your safe space. So that's really, really cool. And then you can also slow enemies down with your second ability, your Frost Wave, which is really cool as well. Doesn't deal a lot of damage, it's a cool looking ability, but it's definitely nice for slowing those enemies down. So Frost is 110% definitely a defensive frame that is not to be messed with. I think that he's the best in the game. If you love Limbo because you're lazy, that's awesome too, but you can't deny that Limbo's cast animation is so fucking long. I just hit my microphone, and that he gets screwed over a lot more with the whole, range buff thing in relic runs and stuff like that, more so than Frost does. So yeah, that's a thing. Not saying that he's bad, I'm just saying that Frost is probably better. So that is that. But let's go ahead and unpause the bad guys and let them shoot at my bubble, or as I said, my safe space, and I'll show you how good Frost can really be. So let's go ahead and put the safe space right here, and hopefully they begin to shoot at it. Are you gonna shoot at it? No? So there's an enemy frozen. There's two enemies frozen. We make another safe space. You can have up to 4 safe space. And whenever you cast your safe space and the enemies are inside it, it's just gonna go ahead and fling them out. So I need to get myself more energy. Go up here. Get a little bit more. Let's go ahead and knock these guys away. Bye-bye. That's also going to deal a lot of damage if they hit walls. So look at the amount of health damage that we just dealt there. That's pretty insane too. So being able to just cast your snow globe and deal a chunk of damage to high level enemies, because these guys are level 110, so they're not necessarily low level, just like making them hit a wall, super good damage, and that's something that not a lot of players know about Frost as well. That can change the tides of a defense mission. Just taking out that one VIP enemy that you and your squad aren't able to take down because you didn't invest enough into your Serration mod or whatever, you know, that is a lifesaver, dude. Just knowing that Frost has that little hidden gem of potential right there is so great. So, unfortunately, I can't get these enemies to shoot at my bubbles. I want to show you... Okay, well, there, damage is dealt to it, and I recast. Just pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner. If an enemy shoots at the bubble, the health is going to go down to 99, and then if I recast, it's going to go back up to 100 again, which is really, really cool. I would just keep the one bubble on defense mission. Just don't try to draw dicks in the air like I used to do whenever I was 16, like that. It's not really a dick. Kind of looks like a chode, I guess you could say. But you can go ahead, you know, let's say you don't want to be challenged for a day. You can go ahead and you can use your one to get rid of the poorly made chode. And then there's the 99 down in the bottom right-hand corner, by the way. You can use your one to get rid of the chode, and that's going to deal damage to the surrounding enemies as well. Although that doesn't deal a lot of damage either. So, yeah, that's the thing. But the enemies keep on shitting at you. Just go ahead, use your 4, and then lay into their heads. You know, do whatever it is that you need to do. I don't have the best build on my Cerberus at the minute, but you can go ahead and die if you don't have your snow globe up. That's totally fine too. But your 1, instant freeze whenever it makes contact. Awesome. Has a little AoE effect too. But that is pretty much Frost. Frost is insanely powerful if used in the right hands. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. This is my Umbro build for him. You don't have to copy this. What I will say is that your health stat, your power strength stat, and your armor stat are definitely very, very important. I would say that your duration stat comes next. Maybe your efficiency stat. You could maybe argue that your efficiency is a little bit more important than duration. It's up to you and how you see it, because if you're investing more into duration, then the stun of your avalanche, the stun of your chilling globe, the slow effect of your 2, and the stun of your 1, they're going to last a lot longer. But then on the flip side, if you have more efficiency, then you can stack more health into your third ability, right? You can constantly keep on stacking more health into your snow globe to make it even harder for the enemies to take down, right? Like even omega high level enemies are going to struggle to take down your Frost globe. So Frost can turn very, very boring in the likes of an endurance run if you're going to like a wave 100 or something, because your job literally turns into spam free. Keep on spamming free, keep on spamming free. And then if your pod happens to die, well then it's your fault, right? But it's not really your fault, because the Loki should be going around killing nullifiers, and then the Trinity should be dealing with the VIP targets and whatnot, like the ancient healers and stuff, so the DPS can actually do DPS. But that's besides the point. You're the defensive frame. You're the person who's meant to be in charge of keeping the pod safe and, you know, timing your avalanche right and all that there stuff. So you're important. You're very, 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 very important. But let's explain the build a little bit more. I got stretch on here because I feel like just having stretch on is kind of the perfect balance for your snow globe. If you have it too big, nullifiers are going to hit it. If you have it too small, people are just going to die. It's just how it is. And also your range and your avalanche and stuff like that isn't going to be huge. Got Umbral Vitality on here for health. Umbral Intensified on here for power strength, which is going to increase the amount of health our bubble has and the amount of damage that we deal with all of our abilities and stuff like that. Umbral Fiber on here for more armor, and these all boost one another up. So 770% bonus health, which gives us a big health gains. We've got our Umbral Intensify at 66% power strength, and we got 192.5% armor, which is great. Streamline on here for the efficiency. I've got this one from the top because all that I could fit on. Prime continuity, so the enemies stay stunned or slowed or frozen for longer. Flow on here because, you know, energy. Could replace this for something different, like Augur Message, for example, to keep the stuns lasting longer. Would definitely do that if you had a decent Trinity. You can maybe also go ahead and, you know, make your Streamline maxed out then, but it really depends on the grip. And when it comes to Arcanes, it depends what weapons you're running. I would definitely have cruise projection on this because Frost is going to be taken into endurance runs a lot. But, you know, your Arcanes, it's really up to the type of weapons you're using. I usually run the likes of a high fire rate secondary. So I'm using Arcane Velocity on here. Sometimes I'll use a comb. So I have Arcane Tempo on just for the fire rate, whatever it eventually procs. Sometimes I use a sniper, so I'd have Arcane Momentum on. it all really depends, honestly, what role I'm playing, what enemies that I'm prioritizing, and stuff like that. So there's also multiple different things you can throw on Frost as well. You can make yourself more tanky. You could throw on adaptation. You could have on, you know, something in this slot as well. If you don't want to run the Umbral, you could go ahead and go completely normal mods and have every single slot filled up and every single mod maxed out if you really, really wanted to. But I just find that this here was the build for me. I wanted those stuns to last longer, which is why I have such a high duration. And then the efficiency kind of came as an afterthought to me, because I thought, well, if this is going to be an endurance run build Frost, I'm going to have a Trinity using the Energy Vampire constantly anyway. So I might as well throw on as much strength as I can as well to get the most out of every single gloop cast, because I'm going to be casting a lot, let's be real. So we've got 13,000 health on a single snow gloop, which will be more than enough if you are playing to only wave 20. So that's the thing. Radius of 7.25 meters, and then we've got a pretty hefty amount of damage on our avalanche. We've got 2.4k, radius 21 meters, duration 12 seconds, armor reduction of 66%. That's over half. Oh my god. And then we've got the explosion damage as well. Yeah, pretty good frame. I like him. The angle of the ice wave can never exceed 60 degrees, so don't try to put on more range to cover the entire field with one cast. You can only do 60-degree angle at a time. Because I've seen people say, well, I have more range on because I want to get the ice wave angle bigger. And it's like, no, you can't do that. It doesn't exceed 60. Unfortunately, it would be cool if, like, you could just make ice fucking rays from the ground. But you can't do that. You know, just do one big stump. And the entire map is covered in ice. Because, I mean, it's Warframe. It's super casual. Might as well. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Frost is a great frame. Check them out. Pick them up. I recommend them. You can get them super early. Prime, non-prime, definitely essential to any defense team who's doing an endurance run. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.